Am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And when I say it was nothing to talk about, I mean it was nothing to fucking talk about. Now, while Joe Budden does a podcast 2 days out the week, I try to stay away from things that really don't concern me or entertain me, at least. But like I said, we're scraping for the bottom of the fucking barrel. So this was an interesting conversation to commentate on and talk about. So I'm going to stop yapping. We have Joe Budden violating Paul Pierce, of all people, the truth, for saying he doesn't believe in marriage because his mom didn't get married till she was 70. Let's listen.
Out here on my own, I'm rich, like you said. Like
that's the part that I thought was sick.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
That's the part that I thought was sick.
That's huge in our demo, especially.
Absolutely.
That's really, really big.
Niggas think it's normal
really
to
big.
Single motherhood is really, really big, and so we don't necessarily see the importance of marriages because we've never been around a marriage or just a fruitful man and woman
Healthy
relationship.
relationship.
I was about to say, not even marriage.
Not all of us.
Well, that's why I'm saying it's sick.
You don't know why.
Because had he had a conversation with his mom and asked her, what would you have preferred? Struggling as a single mom, raising us on our fucking own, or would you have preferred to be in a loving marriage with a supportive partner who could raise us together? I think she would have gone with the latter.
But that has nothing to do with what he saw as a boy growing up.
I understand that.
I've never had that conversation with my mother.
Me neither.
He's a single parent kid. He's never had that conversation with his mother.
What I'm saying is it would bebehoove him to have had that conversation, to ask that question.
If you 45 and 50 and 55, we talking about like real adult people now. I think that you too old for the, hey, this is what I saw growing up, so these are my views. At some point, you have to come up with your own fucking views.
True. I'm not disagreeing with you. However,
but wait, let me finish. So to say that you pleased with your mom being alone or not finding the one that she deemed appropriate for marriage until 70 years old is sick. If you spoke to your mom,
he didn't say that. He's saying
not what he said.
But what he's saying is she didn't get married to 70, which is why he's saying it's for old people. She got married to have somebody by her side to ride it out. That's what he was saying. So that's what he was saying. He's like, so for me, marriage just means
so he may not feel like
I need nobody at this time.
My comprehension is great. Do you think I'm under the guise of his mother? I'm with Mel. His mother may have wanted some company before she was 70 years old.
I think companionship is a human being.
And if you recognize that, then your mom not being married till 70 shouldn't reinforce your thinking of marriage is only for old people. But it should say the opposite.
That's what you're saying.
It should say the exact opposite. And if your mom met a nigga that she felt appropriate for marriage and he was in the house a little more or around you a little more, no telling how that would affect your thinking today.
I do agree with Joe and Mel here, at least when it comes down to it. Like, I was raised by a single mother, but I still do believe in marriage because at the end of the day, while I was raised by a single parent, I also was, seeing my dad's side of life and how he was living, and he kept a wife. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Just for you to decipher, but either way, it showed me I should value at least having a companion and being married to somebody, or at least finding somebody I want to be married to and having a family with that person. So regardless of it, when you look at both sides of it, like I said in the video, I did a video on this and I kind of gave my opinion on Paul Pierce and what he had to say. But like I said, his perspective and his mindset is just based off of how much money he has. That's all this truly is. So yeah, I agree with Joe and Mel here.
That's what we're saying.
I just think at 50 and 55.
That's exactly what we're saying. Yeah. We're saying that if he grew up with a man and a woman in a household and his mother had a man, it would have affected his outlook on relationships and how he sees them. Let me finish,
But
Joe.
what we're surmising from
please.
It is different.
So no, we're really not. Because if he had a man in his household, his whole outlook and his whole view on relationships could potentially be different. He looks at it that way based on the environment he grew up in, an environment he was introduced to at 17, 18 years old, which is being an all-American athlete and all of the things that come along with that.
Y'all are repeating everything I said. I said
it first.
Then how do you get to yes, marriage is only for old people.
It's almost. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm asking.
Let me just say this, and then you clear it up. It's almost like he stated it to say she waited until she was 70 with intention to wait, rather than that was a desire that he never knew she had. Maybe the majority of her life, and it never happened for her.
And I mean, my views on this, I've had this talk with my mom. I've spoken to my mom about marriage, the lack of marriage, when you was married, how you felt about it, getting older without somebody, wanting somebody to be there. I've had these talks. I don't think that nobody is signing their mom up to fucking live life a certain way, and then at 70, at your later years, meet somebody, and then yada, 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 and we're going to paint that as the fucking Party City. That ain't Party City. If you witness that, then why the fuck would you get on a platform talking like it's Party City? I just don't understand that part. If y'all do, that's great.
I disagree with the nigga, so I think
he's
crazy. So.
I disagree with him too, but I understand why he may think like that.
Can I ask y'all something? Why haven't or why wouldn't you have that conversation with your mom?
I have my.
Do y'all got the kind of moms that had that conversation? Like, my mom don't talk about stuff.
Yeah, me and my mom talk about a lot of shit, but I don't need.
I mean,
to
if
have
you're
it.
able to, I'm not.
No, I'm saying some parents, some women don't like to talk about their. I mean, in the sense of like, my mom don't talk about bad experiences. She don't talk
I
about
just
her love
seen
life.
it. I don't even need the conversation.
Sex is a rumor.
Yeah, personally, I don't need it. I saw it. I was there. I saw my mom's being with the wrong person, and this is what she will say to this day. Like, my mom's not married now. My mother was married for 20 years to the wrong person, and eventually got divorced. And she's like, now I value my peace over anything else. I would much rather be alone than go through what I went through before with the wrong person. So I get that.
That's real.
But I watched the struggle going on.
But I think that.
So it's like I see. I don't have
Even
to
that,
tell me shit.
even that
No, you
right
was
there.
there.
Even
I
that
saw
right
it.
there. There's a value in that. So let's just say Ice hypothetically watched his mother be married to the wrong man for 20, 30 years. Ice could be dead set against marriage based on just viewing that. Everything in
true.
all of our environments shape how we see the world.
That is true.
That's a
That
possibility
is true.
for him.
But
It's
what?
true.
But
We
to
make
Joe's
up a
point.
hypothetical
But
for
to
it
Joe's
to be
point,
true.
when you
We're
are
not-
an adult, 40, 45, 50, you now have the responsibility to challenge those long-held beliefs and maybe go to therapy to kind of like fix the way you're thinking. And the reason why I said something about him having a conversation with his mom is because I know something about this. It took me a long time to see my mom outside of just being my mother. Just like unconditionally love me, I'm your child, and that's how I saw the relationship. I never bothered to ask the woman any questions about who she was outside of me until it was almost too late. And that's something that I always encourage people to do, and it would behoove him to have that conversation with his mom because it might change his skewed view right now. Like, that's the point that I'm making.
Unless his mom was, Paul Pierce's mom was just happy all those 30, 40 years. You know what I mean? She could have been, Mr. Earl could have been coming down laying pipe and
Can you put your...
Yeah, like she could have had a great life experience and just decide. But part of that is because he's rich.
Yeah.
Wham.
Frankly, she don't need a 70-year-old man marriage right now, 70 to be taken care of.
You
know
might
what?
need
You know
it
what,
now.
too,
You
though?
might need it now. You might need it now because the money doesn't play as big of a part in your life
That's
when
true.
you start to get older. But when you 50, 60 running around, my son got $100, $200 million, I might not need the things that or the securities that a
That marriage
significant
normally
other
brings.
bring.
That's his whole to that point. His whole understanding is skewed by a whole bunch of stuff that's not replicable. Like,
True.
very few people are gonna have his life and his opportunity and his access. And so I hope a bunch of men don't
And
follow
Paul
his.
Pierce might just be unmarriable.
That's possible.
Yeah. Could be that.
Like the same
That
way
seems
we
likely.
talk about women that are of a certain age that may have missed the boat because there was too many options or they was playing around. And why it won't apply for men? This nigga might have been unmarriable for the peak, the prime years of him, where some of the women he wanted didn't want him because he was on fuck shit. Some of that fuck shit you can still hear
True.
in his
Yep,
verbiage.
yep.
And the good women are out of here. So now you just left
stuck
with,
with this.
like
Yep.
Mel said, the fucking, what did you call it earlier? The feast of the whatever you call it. Some nasty shit out there in the single streets.
The dumpster fire.
Oh, the dumpster
Yeah, the dumpster
fire.
fire. And if you're there, then yes, these are your views. But tell us, yo, these are my views because I'm stuck out here in a dumpster fire and I didn't find nobody that saw the value in me and I refused to do the work so somebody would find the value in me. Say that. That could be true.
Very much so.
Word.
I mean, it's understood that there is going to be
you
a
better mute up, boy.
certain. There's a certain type.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I believe all of that to be true. And again, I'm just basing it on the environment that this guy grew up in. Nigga, I'm rich. I'm living in Boston. I'm the man in Boston. It's mad single bad chicks in Boston. I don't want to settle down with none of them because I'm selfish and I'm running around.
Rich niggas got to stop doing that. That shit is lonely, dark, sad,
and guess when you realize
dangerous,
depressing,
dangerous is the word,
risky road most nights. Most nights. I'm not talking about the night that you went to the club and Vanessa Del Rio was in there with a free cousin and they both sucked your dick all night long.
Well, I'm glad we can all be in agreement on this topic. Mark Lamont Hill even repeated something that I had said. I mean, he's not smart. It's just the way he articulates his opinion isn't entertaining. That's the only problem. That's it. That's my only problem with him. Everything he says comes off very correct, very PC, very on the point. It makes sense. It's just not entertaining to hear. Like I said, it just sounds like fucking NyQuil. Like, what the fuck, bro? And I'm saying, some people have the voice to run a podcast and run a 3-hour show, 3-hour long, 4-hour long show, and you be engaged the whole time, wanting to keep hearing what they have to say. Mark Lamont Hill is not one of those people. I'm just saying. Anyways, let me know what y'all think about it in the comments below. Do you agree with Joe? Do you disagree with him? Do you think Paul Pierce was right? Fuck marriage. I don't want a woman complaining to me every day, all day, 24/7. Let me know in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.